Triggered or offended, please exercise caution. Because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children. And not for coworkers either. And yes, that includes you, Cindy. And no, I will not subscribe to your Instagram account.
Cindy, I don't think you're allowed to check that on a work computer. I don't think you're supposed to. You should call Josh in IT. I don't think it's a good idea. No, I'm not going to let you borrow my phone for two-factor authentication. Nutcase. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm JJW. This is my DA buddy, errand boy, Deacon, and we are your two dads live. And we drink coffee every morning, and we read the news, and we talk about all the important things going on. And this is just another slow news day, just another slow day. Probably nothing going to happen of interest at all. Isn't that right?
I drink tea.
We drink coffee and tea. Mm-hmm. Coffee, some tea.
I have my British hat on, so I drink tea with a little milk. Touches
I think you're obligated to have some sort of an accent if you do that.
In lieu of the accent, I hold my pinky up.
Pinky up.
I think you can do that in lieu of talking.
Rarefied dignity.
An accent.
He's got the culture. He's got the culture.
You got to sip.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Good morning, everybody. Today is April 4th, a day which will go down in infamy as the day that Democrats thought it was a great idea to start charging former presidents with crimes. This could be, I was reading an article this morning, this could be a domino, like the DA Bragg doing this little indictment could kick off like a bunch of reactions like, oh, okay, we can do that now. And then the Clinton Center in Arkansas could get investigated for tax fraud, and
why not?
Joe Biden's brother, Jimmy, can start getting investigated for shakedowns of AmeriCorps.
Why not? Why not?
So,
why not try to go for every past president and get all the bad things that they've done? Because the ones alive have done stuff bad. There's not any of them that are holy. Obama, Clinton, Carter, get all. Who else is alive? Is the Bush? Which one of the Bushes is still alive? Are they both still alive?
Jeb? No.
The older one died.
Papa's dead.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But you got,
get them.
You got George out there. You got Jeb. I mean, like, empty the skeletons out of all the closets. This is double.
Why not? I mean, we ain't got nothing else better to do in this fucking country.
It'll hurt them.
We ain't got we don't have anything to spend we've got so much money in this country. We give it away to other countries. We just give it away to other countries. We've got so much money in this country.
Yeah.
So,
and we have all of our doors open.
So yeah, I'm guessing that is going to be the main topic of our show today. That's the title of our show, JJ. We just jumped right in. I feel
like we can
this morning, didn't we?
shoot. I know. It's the day. That's what the day is going to be. But I feel like we can get over it. We do have some interesting stuff to talk about. Aside from the indictment, which isn't even going to happen. It's not going to be read until later today. So
awesome.
We have.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
We've
got to work on our intro.
Yeah,
we desperately need to work on our intro. It drives me crazy. All right, I'm just going to let you do it. Go.
Good morning. How are you? Did you sleep okay?
Everything's great.
He's good. You want to do your song of the day here?
I don't care.
No, you don't want to. Let's talk about something. Let's just get it out of the way. First of all, Donald Trump went to New York yesterday. He got on a plane, flew to New York. They plan to surrender today. And in the 3 or 4 days since it was announced that he would be indicted, Donald Trump has now raised $7 million. So $7 million has been raised for Trump 2024, thanks to District Attorney Bragg from Manhattan. Good job, sir. if it was only kind of iffy, wishy-washy before, and like a month or two ago, I was like, Donald Trump's not serious about running for president. Well, I think he's serious about running for president now. So, all of the other contenders in the race, far, far behind him, including DeSantis. So Donald Trump has raked in $7 million as people are not happy that the president, well, I mean, according to some polls, they're not happy. According to some newspapers, people are happy, but that he's being indicted, but nobody thinks it's a good idea. Like it's going to be a prosecutorial blunder. But Donald Trump's raised $7 million in campaign funds since the indictment was announced. And Breitbart.com says that Trump's appearance in Manhattan court for arraignment turns into a spectacle. So apparently the prosecutors in New York wanted to see if they could get him quietly to come in quietly and get arraigned over a Zoom call or something like that. And Donald Trump said, no, I think it'd be better as if I came in the middle of the day at high noon, high profile. We have all of the cameras there to see it. So apparently that's what's going to happen. So we'll be seeing that later today. So if you're a news junkie or if you love Trump or if you hate Trump, keep your TV on to some channel and you'll be able to watch cars drive by, but you will not see Trump on camera. You will not see a mugshot. You're not going to see any of that stuff. You might see him get out of his vehicle and announce and then talk to the crowd later today. All right. I think that's all the news on that at the moment. And the indictments were supposedly leaked last night, though they may have been released by the judge. I'm not sure. So the scuttlebutt on that is that it turns out if the indictments were leaked to the press, which they were definitely in the hands of a journalist last night, but if they were leaked while being sealed, that's a felony. And only DA Bragg in his office had access to the indictments, which means that it's possible that DA Bragg could get indicted for leaking indictments, which is an actual felony. Okay.
Cool.
Deacon's like, I don't care. Prosecute him. Don't prosecute him. Who cares?
Exactly.
All right.
I know people like this kind of information, but I think people are stupid. So it's okay. People think I'm stupid.
This is the modern gladiatorial arena, though. This is where we watch, avatars of the public go to.
I've never been go to combat. I've never been one that's been entertained by such things very much. Yeah, I watch it for a short period of time, but it's not one of those things that entertains me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
it used to, and I used to get really riled up, and I devoted a lot of my life to this, but I just don't give a crap anymore, especially about Trump.
Right. Okay. I think I can scrape the Trump stuff off the list. I think we're done on Trump for now. Deacon, remember when there was a derailment in Ohio a month ago? Derailment in Ohio a month ago in East Palestine, and there were a number of rail cars, derailed. There were toxic chemicals. The people dealing with the Ohio derailment thought it would be a good idea to light it on fire. Like that would be the best thing to do for that derailment. It turns out that, and you're gonna be shocked by this. You're gonna be shocked flat. Even though they told us everything's safe, no problem. They said everything's safe, no problem in the grand scale of things. They were also like, don't go in there. It's right now. Nearly one half of the federal investigators at the East Palestine train derailment briefly fell ill.
Oh, so really? No, it's just a fluke. They must have COVID. They got it from eating bat.
Might be COVID.
Yeah, somebody ate
bat. They could have had a what do they call it? A mass exposure type incident. You think they had maybe a?
It was a bat. They ate a bat.
That is possible. It is. You can't rule it out. That's what you definitely cannot do.
The eating a bat.
The investigators who are part of the agency's Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry experienced sore throats, coughing, nausea, and headaches in early March, according to CNN.
Sniffles, allergies.
Right. So you can add sick federal agents in addition to dead chickens and pets and animals and
natural stuff that happens in nature.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think this is all weird, JJ. Major chemical spill, light it on fire, everything dies, everything gets cancer. It's not a big deal. It's just Ohio.
Do you think there's a chance that in 15 to 20 years, these people will develop cancer and then there will be some sort of a lawsuit and then American taxpayers will have to pay these federal investigators?
Well, I think the key question there, JJ, is if they do develop cancer in 15 to 20 years, how much is the company going to have to pay off settlement to shut up these hicks? And how much profit are we going to make in 15 to 20 years comparable to how much, because these hicks from Ohio are simple folks. And if they're got cancer in 15 or 20 years, hopefully in 15 or 20 years, this cancer will kill off a lot of them. So the ones that are left might be just like members and they're poor, hicks, rednecky hicks from Ohio. We can give them a minute amount of money and they'll be completely satisfied with it, compared to our profits that we make from our company. So fuck these hicks. If they die, they die. Who cares?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was speaking as the company, not as
the train company.
I'm a little dry this morning. I had to stop at a stop sign this morning, a 4-way stop. I put my car in park. I got out of my car and I walked up to the guy in the truck behind me. He wouldn't roll down his window, but I was screaming at him, asking him if he could fucking see. If he could fucking see the goddamned road, because everybody else on the motherfucking road couldn't see because his goddamn lights in his fucking truck. These fucking headlights that we have in our vehicles now, there has to be some kind of goddamn regulation to them. So I didn't start off the day very good. So I'm in a really dry, assholey mood today because I had to get out of my car because I couldn't fucking see. It was like God was coming up. I thought the angels were coming to get me this morning because it was fucking so goddamn bright behind my fucking car that I couldn't see anything. I couldn't do anything. Because this cocksucker thought that I wanted to make sure that he could see the fucking road.
Was he rolling around with brights or was it just like super bright?
It's just them goddamn halogen super bright fucking headlights that people buy now. There's got to be some fucking regulation. So that's what I'm getting at. I already had to get out of the car and fucking fuss at this guy this morning. I did. I got out at a 4-way stop and was like, can you fucking see? Because nobody else can fucking see. But I want to make sure that you can fucking see the road. Shit. All right. Because this is what I didn't understand. I was like, this is common sense. I told Ashley, I said, they're adding these big ass lights on your car, these bright ass headlights, so that you can see, so that you don't get into an accident. Correct? Is that key point?
Don't hit a deer.
So that you're not going to get into an accident. But if you're blinding every goddamn car driving at you at 55 plus miles per hour within fucking a foot of you, and you're blinding the fuck out of them, don't you think that is defeating the goddamn purpose of getting into an accident just a little bit?
It seems like that would be
just a tiny smidgen, slight
little
smidgen,
bit. I can see.
That's just my point. But I'm glad that all you cocksuckers can see out there, because all of us that drive low profile cars, we can't see shit. But you're
my favorite thing is when they have the pickup trucks and they've jacked their trucks up a little bit, so the headlights can go directly into your rearview mirror,
my rearview mirror,
and into your eyeballs.
The fuck out of me, just kills my eyes. And I have the fucking $100 fucking extra shit on my glasses that keeps the anti-reflective bullshit down, and that doesn't work anymore.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I'm surprised you got out and just.
Sorry, I was just trying to get at why I'm being an asshole this morning. And that's.
I'm surprised that you would get out of your car and
I'm not scared of anybody.
confront a stream. Yeah, but there's
if he's gonna pull a gun on, I don't care if he's gonna pull a gun on me. He's gonna pull a fucking gun on me. I ain't scared. But motherfucker's gonna drive behind me. He bright lighted me twice.
Yeah. Oh, did he blink you? Blink.
Yeah, because I wasn't going fast enough. I was going 50 and a 45, and I wasn't going fast enough for him. So that's really why.
And it's one lane, right?
Yeah, it was just a 2-lane. He couldn't go.
Yeah.
He was pissed. He was late for work.
That would have been a terrible time for you to have car trouble.
He was a young kid.
Turn your hazards on.
He was a young kid in his early 20s, and he didn't roll down the window, and you could tell that he was a little scared. So maybe he'll think about it next time, being a fucking cocksucker, bright lighting somebody behind you. You don't. These people. That's a problem with the kids. They're keyboard kids. These kids nowadays talk bullshit. But as soon as you call them, you're so brave behind the keyboard. But as soon as you call them out, they fucking tuck their tail and get behind mommy's fucking skirt. Is what they fucking do. And I've done it a million fucking times. I will call out somebody to their face. And I have had it happen so many times that these motherfuckers tuck their tail. Every fucking time. They tuck their tail and shut the fuck up. They're big and bad behind a fucking keyboard. But as soon as you call them out in public, they tuck their tail.
So Section 31 asks, what happened to the safety measures that were put in place to police these big menaces, keep the public safe? I don't know, but whatever those safety measures were, we haven't had them for a long, long time because we have like 1,000 derailments a year. So
you mean like
that's just one. That's just one that made the news.
And I'll say this that we said earlier when we talked about this a couple of months ago. I'm right beside a train track in my job, and we've had a derailment here right outside the freaking door. About 10 years ago. And there's derailments all the time in the United States. We talked about this before. There's derailments all the time. You don't hear about them. They're not reported on the news all the time unless it's something huge, but that shit happens all the time. But it seems now that after we've said that this particular company, it's like what our commenter just said, where's the safety regulations on this? It's almost like, what did you do with that money? With you're supposed to be the safety regulations, because I know a couple of guys that's worked on the railroads over here, and they're not just like sitting in this chair all day long. It's not just like sit there and watch. They actually do work, unless it's like certain jobs. They work their ass off.
I mean, what causes these derailments? Is it a defect in the track? Is it like, well, the East Palestine one, apparently they went like 21 miles with like a busted wheel or something like that.
I know that sitting here right beside this track, they are constantly working on these tracks out here. The machines, the different machines go by. They've replaced the track and the little fucking ties that go underneath like twice since in the 10 years that I've been working at this particular radio station. Because I watched that. It's a whole fucking,
like, I mean, for me, it was a little, I was a little surprised to learn there's like 3 derailments a day right now. And we do not have like mass rail transportation across the US like they do in Europe, where it's all interconnected. But we have we have a lot of industrial trains like the one you have right by your office. They do chemical transportation and stuff like that. So there's a lot of industrial ones. But can you imagine if we had in Texas for like the last 15 or 20 years, they've been talking about like, oh, we'll put a high-speed rail in from like Houston to Dallas or something like that. And, they have this dream of like connecting these cities with high-speed rail so you can go faster between cities and stuff. But can you imagine if we actually had that and we have the rate of derailments that we currently have? We would have casualties.
Does overseas, does Europe have the amount of derailments with all the, because I know they have a lot more passenger trains over in Europe than we do in the United States. So and I don't know about any of I'm sure if we heard some of the European train derailments, that would be big news, but you hardly ever hear about it. I don't. So I don't know. They might be. over there.
I mean, I know Japan has a lot of trains, but they have a lot less distance between destinations.
Right. That's what I was going to say. In Europe, that's why, I mean, Europe is not as big as nowhere near the size of the United States. It would be ridiculous to have high-speed rails between like Chicago and New York or Chicago and Florida or something like that. That's a ridiculous distance. Of course, there's going to be would you want to ride a high-speed train for 500 miles? Fuck no. No.
So I just Googled this, and I have the 2020 numbers, which was the year that everybody was locked down, right? So Germany had 294. So that's like one a day. And that's just Germany. And then Poland had like 180, and France had 100, and Romania had 100, and Hungary had 98. So there's like hundreds of derailments. Oh my God. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should do this high-speed rail stuff.
I think so.
Put some more, I don't know, just shake it up a little bit. Yeah, because they like safety over in Europe, according to Section 31. So, okay, well, thank you for watching the show. Thanks for showing up. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Deke,
they like
you're not going to believe.
We don't give a shit about safety. We just care about money over here in America. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, maybe.
I was reading.
I mean, comments. Yeah. I'm a little dubious of the amount of safety they care about. They sure. Let me tell you what they love. They love bureaucracy. If you're into stamps and getting documents stamped, oh my God, go to Europe. They will have your documents get stamped and stamped and stamped, and if you like waiting in lines, that's the country. That's the continent for you. Deke, you're not gonna believe this. The UFOs that we saw like a month ago, apparently, apparently one of them was a Chinese spy balloon that was gathering intelligence from military sites.
No, I don't believe that. The Chinese
can't believe that.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Why would they be doing that? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. This story doesn't, and I'm not sure that this adds up, but we'll have to find out. The Chinese spy balloon that drifted across the entire continental United States in February. It went from our northeast coast across our entire country.
That one that
was
all
only
crazy conservative, crazy Trumpers were screaming.
Nut jobs.
Those nut jobs were screaming that this is a Chinese spy balloon.
Right.
And the liberals were saying, no, it's not, you idiots.
Right. Yeah.
That one? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it didn't. They were making unsubstantiated claims. Right. Unsubstantiated claims.
Technically, they were unsubstantiated claims. Technically,
check out this tour that the balloon took.
That one dot there is almost close to me. Oh, it's fucking Fort Campbell. Yeah, that is close to me.
Yeah,
I started to say that one dot's in my backyard, but yeah, that one dot is in my backyard. It's Fort Campbell.
The Chinese spy balloon military tour went over Maelstrom Air Force Base, and then it went down to Fort Leavenworth, and then it turned south a little bit and went to that was Foote Air Force Base, and then it went down to Leavenworth, and then Whiteman, and then over here to Fort Campbell, and then kind of took a little bit of a detour over to Shaw, and then finally the Naval Weapons Station before it got eventually shot down. So, I'm for one, I'm just so glad that following the Chinese acquisition of our military bases and information, the United States government then, took a real hard stand and started shooting down a bunch of weather balloons. So, just a little yawn. This is going to be the one. This is the one where people are going to be like, the Chinese are spying on us. Don't you think it's finally going to change their minds, Deacon? No, probably not. They're still going to buy Huawei routers.
Are spying on us from the moon.
It might be.
They're breeding worms with aliens on the moon. You don't know this? It's common knowledge.
And they got those glass beads with water inside.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a little crunchy, but water's water,
Water's water. All right, okay. What else do we have before the stink bugs take me over?
This was interesting. I don't know if you know anything about this. Apparently, a female assassin accused of killing a pro-Putin blogger after giving him a sculpture laden with explosives. This is cool. Over in, a Russian female anti-war activist has been detained after allegedly, I mean, first of all, we have no idea. It's in Russia. So maybe she was an activist. Maybe she's a Ukrainian terrorist. Maybe she was who knows what. I don't know. But what it does seem like is like a plot from a movie. It seems like a plot from a movie. A Russian female anti-war activist has been detained for blowing up a notorious pro-Putin blogger after handing him a sculpture laden with explosives inside of a packed St. Petersburg cafe. Russian Ministry of Interior said Monday it had apprehended the 26-year-old Daria Trepova in connection with the killing of Maxim Fomin, known by the pseudonym Vladin Tatarsky.
Whatever.
Yeah. So
this chick blew him up in a cool
in a
movie kind of way, huh?
Yeah, like her. Okay. There's all kinds of ways to kill people. I guess that's her. She's not only a crazy Russian assassin. She's also, I guess, a attempted influencer here with the selfies. So isn't that interesting that maybe in her mind, I mean, honestly, you have to discount all of this. Like you got no idea what really happened, but so let's take it at face value. In her mind, she was like, the best way for me to probably take this guy out is to build a bomb that looks like a statue and then give him a statue. Doesn't that seem a little bit crazy? Why wouldn't she just like shoot him or poison?
Who knows? Why is she trying to why were they trying to kill this pro-Putin blogger?
I guess she was really hard against violence and war.
Well, it looks like an amateur job to me.
I mean, she did kill him.
She got caught.
Well, she did get caught. That's true.
Didn't matter if he's dead or not. She got caught. That's a fail. She failed. She passed for the one guy. I mean, who hired her? Yeah, she flying colors. It couldn't have been better for them. But from her standpoint, yeah, she's a failure. She got the job done, but did she really?
She put all of her mental energy into devising a scheme to make a bomb statue. Never occurred to her that maybe she should have an escape plan.
All right.
This has got to be made into a movie, don't you think?
I thought it was already a movie. I thought I had seen that and thought, well, this kind of shitty movie. This plot sucks.
Wow. I mean, it's not super great.
Wasn't Tom Cruise in that?
So got a shot of her being apprehended and being escorted through or whatever. But look, they have an exterior shot of her carrying the bomb package to the cafe, and that's her in cuffs and detained or whatever. And they have an interior shot of her having put the package on the table there and was then like heading out. And I don't know what's up. This guy had a microphone. This guy is maybe there. And so they have shots of the actual crime. She couldn't have done a worse job of staying low profile. I mean, he might have been broadcasting while she was doing this.
That's funny.
And then the interior of the cafe is wrecked and stuff. That's terrible. There's a picture of him like all geared up with like,
We're not seeing it anymore.
I know. I turned it off. I don't want to show blood and
okay.
bodies and such. Because there's blood.
Okay.
And I think they got the bodies out. Anyway. Okay. We'll see. We'll see if that Russian Black Widow gets a movie adaptation. I got some bad news, Deacon. I guess that was not the bad news. Everything's scale, right? And things matter more when they're local. Like the fact that a Russian killed another Russian with a bomb is exotic, but like doesn't matter. But McDonald's is getting ready to shut a bunch of offices and prepare for layoffs. So the
wait a minute now. Read the title again. Read the title
McDonald's,
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
McDonald's temporarily shut U.S. offices, not restaurants, offices. Prepares layoff notices, the report says. So they're preparing to notices to lay off people. Why is that, do you think, JJ? You don't go into McDonald's, but a lot of them have the little kiosks where you can walk up and do your order yourself, which I have done before, and I would like to say that I prefer it much greater to the actual Kool-Aid clan that's attempting to help me. Hang on.
Oh, I think I just crashed my browser. So, no, Panera's got those machines too, and there's a couple of other places that have those do-it-yourself ordering things, and I don't like to do that unless like they're gonna pay me to order stuff. Like the whole reason I went to a restaurant in the first place is because I'm hungry or I need to feed my family, and I don't want to. I obviously didn't want to do that work, or I would have fed them at home. So I went to a restaurant to get somebody else to make this food, take this order, feed my family, and then I go there and then I have to operate their thing. I don't want to do that. Oh, Section 31 loves the self-ordering kiosks. Oh, okay. Whoops. All right. Are there any pros to the kiosks, Section 31? Are there any upsides to using those things? Burger chain McDonald's Corp is temporarily closing its U.S. offices this week as it prepares to inform corporate employees about layoffs as part of a broader company restructuring. In an internal email last week to U.S. employees to some international staff, McDonald's asked them to work from home from Monday through Wednesday so it can deliver staffing decisions virtually. It's unclear how many will be laid off. During the week of April 3rd, we will communicate key decisions related to roles and staffing across the organization. McDonald's also asked employees to cancel all in-person meetings with vendors and other outside parties at its headquarters. So this is definitely it's definitely an administrative cut. You know, they're not cutting the McDonald's. They may not be cutting employees staff at the McDonald's facilities, but it's definitely at the corporate level, the administrative level. And that said, I don't like the kiosk things.
You know,
the last thing I want to do is take. I mean, I don't go to McDonald's all that often, but there's other places like that. And usually when we go into those places, I take the kids and I go find a table and I'm like, you go deal with that, wife, because I'm not going to stand over by that thing trying to push buttons while my kids are running circles around or trying to climb the counter. What's that?
Your kids shouldn't be climbing the counter anyway. Damn it.
Yeah, but
your kids shouldn't be acting crazy. They should be standing there, not acting crazy.
They should be.
Right. All right.
And I've told them that. And you know what? It doesn't seem to stick.
Second of all, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I also kind of see my dad come out because my dad, he always says, if I go to Walmart, I ain't going to go to one of them. It's taking jobs away. I'm going to go to somebody that's actually going to check me out. And I'm like, all right, I can see your old school way of thinking, but I try not to be old school because we're on the cusp. Me and you are on the cusp of old school and young. And I'm trying to embrace the young and see. I'm not trying to embrace the young, but I'm trying to see it from their standpoint because they do live in a technologically different world than we ever even thought about growing up. So, I mean, I was joking. I was kind of being the grumpy old man in Walmart the other day with my daughter, who's 17, fixing to be 18. And I was like, pretty soon this place is just going to be, where there's hardly any people in there, and it's all going to be Walmart workers shopping for everybody else, and everybody's going to be sitting in their cars in the parking lot, and there's only going to be 2 or 3 real people coming in here shopping, and we're going to be the ones that are in the way, because right now the Walmart workers are in the way with their shit that they're pulling shopping for everybody else. So, it's hard to get around them and stuff. So, and that's what I was complaining about. I was like, there's more Walmart shoppers in here, Walmart employees shopping for people than there are actual people in here shopping. So yeah, I mean, Section 31 is right. I mean, we're gonna have to pay him.
I mean, I didn't equate. I did not equate the restaurant kiosk to the ones that like a store like Lowe's has kiosks. And
my dad says that's taking jobs away, and I try to tell Dad, I was like, no, that's taking that particular job description away. Okay, they still have to have, and honestly, it is taking a job away, because it's not having somebody standing there physically working. They're standing and leaning up against the wall now, and just making sure that you're doing. But all those other people are out doing the other jobs. That's what I told him. I said, you've taken away the cashier job, right? He said, well, they don't have cashiers anymore. I was like, right. But they now have a brand new employee called the shopper. They didn't have the shopper.
Yeah, somebody going and picking your list.
Yeah,
so you don't
that was not in it. That wasn't a job in Walmart 20 years ago, but it is now. And so you're not a cashier. You're one of these. So it doesn't really eliminate the job. You've just changed the job. Okay.
And so at these other places, at like the Walmart or the Lowe's or whatever, where you do the self-checkout, like you as the person standing in line, why are you going to the self-checkout? Because it's faster, right? Because if you go stand in line, like the lady in front of you's got to dig through her coupon book,
and that's what they rely on, because that's the convenience store model. That's what they rely on. That's why you pay more for $2 for a 20-ounce freaking cold soda when you can go get a 2-liter for 99 cents over there. What the hell?
Yeah.
You pay for the convenience of what it is, and that's the same model. You are paying, because that's what I've always argued. I'm like, how come I'm paying more for this object and I'm having to do the work to check myself out of the store? I should be getting a discount. It should be like, this thing's $5, but if you check out yourself, it's only $4.75, because we're not actually having to pay somebody to check you out.
And we don't have a cashier with her hand in the till all day long.
So it's going to be cheaper for you, but they don't do that. They actually raise the price. I always said that about hamburgers. I get my hamburger plain. You want lettuce, pickle, tomato, onion, all on yours. I should get mine for fucking cheaper. I don't want all that shit on there. I should get mine for cheaper. Don't you think?
They got to amortize the costs across all hamburgers.
I know, and I don't bitch about that anymore. I did when I was in my 20s. I needed something to complain about.
Yeah, because you needed your dollars.
Yeah, I needed my dollars. But now that I'm in my mid 40s, I understand the way the world works.
I do like the fact that Walmart picks that stuff and brings it to your car, because there was like 2 straight years that I didn't even go into Walmart. Like, I mean, I would rarely go anyway, but sometimes my wife would send me to go pick up something. And with that pickup thing, I would just drive in the parking lot and they would bring it to the car. I was like, I don't even have to go in this place. This is great.
I think that's a really good idea for people that don't abuse it like you. I think it's a great idea for people with disabilities, elderly people. My aunt is an elderly aunt, and she calls my brother all the time. All the time, I'll be like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?" He'll call me or I'll call him. "Hey, dude, what are you doing?" "I'm on the way to Sheila's house, going to Walmart for Sheila. I'm going to Walmart for Sheila, going to the store for Sheila." And I'm like, man, because she can't do it. She doesn't have anybody else to do it. So he does it. And so he's like, and so I thought, man, that's a really good idea for somebody like her in her situation, where she can't physically go shopping in Walmart for 20 minutes. She can't do it. She couldn't even ride the little buggy around. She's not in that great of health. But for, you know what I mean? But not for somebody like me, who's physically capable into Walmart and do this. My lazy ass is sitting here on my phone because I got to play Sim City, which is my new game that I'm playing now, Sim City.
Oh, is that what you're playing right now? You're off of Snap? Yeah. I'm off of Snap.
Oh, I deleted that shit months ago. Terrible model. Terrible game model. Great idea, terrible game model. All right.
fun, fast, but whatever. You're going to be totally shocked once again, Deacon. Google co-founder Sergey Brin. You ever heard the name Sergey Brin?
I have his picture and some candles at home on like a corner wall.
You do?
Yeah,
one of those little alcove things.
Is that not weird?
In the wall of their house?
Does not everybody have that?
I don't think so. Doesn't everybody have sort of a little? You owe Google so much for being able to pretend you know things. You can just
say my prayers to Google.
Yeah. Google co-founder Sergey Brin and Hotel Air Thomas Pritzker, don't know that guy, subpoenaed over J.P. Morgan, that's a bank, J.P. Morgan's Epstein ties. Epstein? Is it Epstein? Epstein.
What is an Epstein tie? Is that like a special? Tie? Is that like a bolo tie?
No. Although they could call it that. It would need to be maybe white, kind of thick, made out of look like sheets. Oh God,
that took a bad turn.
Whoa!
Wow. Okay.
Whoa! Billionaire co-founder Sergey Brin and Hyatt Hotel Pritzker are reportedly among a set of business moguls subpoenaed in a high-profile lawsuit over J.P. Morgan Chase's links to the deceased, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, who once, infamously ran Pedo Island. The U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General has asked legal representatives for Brin, Pritzker, and creative arts agency co-founder Michael Ovitz and real estate mogul Mort Zuckerman to turn over any documents or information related to the bank and Epstein, the Wall Street Journal reported on Friday, citing people familiar with the matter. Matter. All right, Wall Street Journal. Anonymous sources suck. The subpoenas are related to the Virgin Islands civil lawsuit accusing J.P. Morgan Chase of benefiting from Epstein's infamous sex trafficking ring while ignoring his sordid misdeeds. The bank has reportedly denied any wrongdoing and is unaware of the Epstein crimes.
So, JJ,
we had no idea.
All this is when you're fishing and you've got your jig in the water and it's kind of moving along and it's kind of attracting. Let's say it's attracting several fish and they're attracted to the color and the movement of that jig and they're following it along.
Right.
So this is the Epstein story, and this is everybody else, the fish or everybody else. So everybody's interested in this story. So we just have to keep jiggling the jig every once in a while. You can't just let it, or the fish are going to get disinterested and go to something else. So you got to jiggle it every once in a while to keep it in, keep the fish interested in the jig. And this is all this is. This is jiggling it and reminding you people, hey, Epstein, bad guy. Remember, we're going to get him. But first, we got to get definitely on Stormy Daniels charges. That. Years later, we've got him on this, but we're eventually going to get stuff on all of these rich and powerful people that have had sex with little children against their will. So, but that's not a big deal right now. What is a big deal is getting Trump on charges with a prostitute. That is more important than having forced sexual relations with children. That's more important.
Deacon, you've made me curious. Let me just see. Hang on. Let's see. I think I had the
my chai is almost up. We have 15 minutes of show left. I'm going to try to make it last for 15 minutes.
Oh no.
It's gone lukewarm.
Let's see. Since today is National Let's Finally Get Trump Day, I'm going to just go over here to Epstein's Black Book and see if Donald Trump...
Is that how it's spelled?
Isn't it going to be a national holiday? It might be an international holiday, right? Let's see. Oh, Donald Trump is on the Epstein Black Book on page 80. I did not know that.
The MCOC is alive.
What? MCOC. Come on, man. No way.
You young whippersnappers. I used to think that way as well before I wisened up.
They updated the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man. They gave him a new costume. Deacon.
Oh, they did? I might have to log in and look at that.
Mm-hmm. You might have.
I'm still in an alliance. I still play a little bit. The only reason I haven't deleted it is because I wish I could give away my characters. I have some really good characters that most people would love to have.
Be happy to have.
And I'm
You
not
got the
going to give,
Barry
I'm
Windsor Smith
not
X-Men.
giving away
No,
my
Wolverine.
my account. I'm not doing it. I've already had people ask me. I've got a 6-star Weapon X. Yeah. Was it R3? He's pretty nice, man. Oh, but
I spent that game is so frustrating to me. I spent probably because I don't want to use any. Look, now we're talking about contests. I don't want to use any revives or items, and I sure as shit don't want to spend any money or units or anything like that to get through stuff. And so I spent probably like 10 days just doing the same run again and again just to try to get through the map so I could finish the event quest.
Oh.
But I only play like 3 minutes at a time, and I'm like, oh, I got something else to do. Or, oh, let me work on this Western trailer.
MCOC. Welcome to all of our MCOC people over here that because we have several that play MCOC still. And I know we dog it a little bit, but that's how JJ and I met. Contest of Champions and Marvel and Disney sent us. They sent JJ and I to New York City.
We went to New York.
Play, and
otherwise we'd have never gone.
We got to see the super secret Marvel headquarters and take an awesome fucking tour of the super secret Marvel headquarters and see some really cool offices and some really cool.
I feel like I have a part of a memory while we were going up and down one of the stairwells or one side. I was like, "Can we go in? Are we going to go in here?" And they're like, "No, that's for like artists."
Yeah, they wouldn't let us go in
so
places.
You're just taking us to the legal offices. You're just going to walk us through legal.
They only would let us take pictures in certain areas. We couldn't even have our phones out. It was really cool.
And we were babysat the whole time. They had us in the conference room. I don't think we ever talked about this. We were in the conference room for an hour or two waiting to do something. And all around the conference room, they had full size 1-to-1 statues of all of the characters in the Marvel
1-to-1
movies.
And I bet there was
so it was
15 of them in there of all the different.
Yeah, there was Thor
and Winter Soldier and Black Panther and Doctor Strange.
There was at least one Iron Man. There may have been a couple of different ones.
Remember the one in the office Captain had like America. The 5 or 6 different Iron Men that was all
yeah. And then somewhere else they had a very realistic like MCU Captain America, like a Civil War Captain, like modern.
It was a cool experience. So we dog Contest of Champions and whatnot, but they've done a lot for us. I still love the game.
I haven't finished map 6 either. Wobbly Bits. My one true regret is that we did not go to the Ghostbusters library.
We didn't go to the public library, and we didn't go to the Ghostbusters firehouse. Yeah, and I have a buddy, a video gaming buddy that lives in New York that I've never personally met, and we were trying to get together, but he had to work. He worked in the bottom part of the island.
Looks like it's me. It's me. My connection's no good.
That's all right. You're here now.
I think they're stored. So what? So your buddy lives in New York and what?
He's originally from Texas and he moved to New York, and we met on Battlefield, playing Battlefield 3. And we became, we became really close friends. His name is Solid Knight. And I was going to meet him and just like shake his hand, give him a freaking hug in New York, and we couldn't meet up because we were only there for a short period of time, and he had to work.
Yeah,
he couldn't get off and
a couple days.
Yeah, so that's the only. That was my one. That was my major regret in New York. Instead of going to the Ghostbusters stuff, I would have liked to have met my buddy and gave him a hug, and met him for the first time, because we've known each other for a decade. We've played video games, and I mean we're friends. We're friends. He's my friend. Even though I haven't met him.
Did you call him?
Yeah, we were texting and stuff. We were texting and stuff the whole time, and he was just like, "Man, I can't get off work," and it's like, "Man, I don't think I can get all the way down to the bottom of the island."
Yeah, that was a long way.
Over a long way from where we were. All right. Any other stories? We had some more stories. I just didn't know if you were going to get to them. You had the one.
Yeah, there's a couple more. So we got a potential merger. I don't know if you have any interest in this at all, but I care about half of it
more,
and you might care about the other half of it. Maybe not as much.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there is apparently the WWE and the UFC parent company Endeavor announced plans to merge in a $21.4 billion deal. World Wrestling Entertainment and Endeavor, the parent company that runs the mixed martial arts outfit Ultimate Fighting Championship, have confirmed they will merge and create a super company. I don't know how I feel about a wrestling entertainment being mixed with like UFC.
That's what I was going to say. I don't want it to be real. You've got
right.
UFC, and that's real.
Right.
Wrestling is that type of wrestling is wrestling entertainment.
Right.
We know that it's set up. We know that they practice the moves. We know that's fine. We like it that way. I always described it as my that's our soap opera. You know, everybody else likes
Right.
The Young and the Restless. We liked our soap opera on wrestling.
So the new company would give you Endeavor would have a 51% trading controlling interest, and the WWE shareholders. So if you have stock in WWE, it'd be 49. You'd have collectively 49% interest. I don't know. I don't know what this means. I have no idea. But WWE is just spectacular. But I mean, I like to watch the UFC. Not anymore. I haven't seen WWE anything in years.
No, the storylines got terrible, and I stopped watching years ago.
I thought
the storylines just
Vince
got so
McMahon
bad.
Got his job taken over by Triple H or something.
He's always treated people like shit. I haven't really kept up with that. I used to be really big into WWF back in the 80s and 90s, man. I was really big. I can name off all those freaking guys, and I watched it. I've been to a couple of WWF matches. I've been to several WCW matches. So I stopped watching it. I got tired of everybody coming out as their name. You know, I want to see a character. You know, I want to see somebody as a character. That was cool, man. No, whatever.
Okay. Well, I got one more thing. I wasn't really going to do this, but I don't know. What do you think? I'll ask you. I'll just ask. There's a Deacon, the DCU, the new movies being fronted by James Gunn.
Yeah.
We've had Shazam, which came out and was kind of a flop, a little bit of a flop.
Ashley and Alex and her mom went and watched Shazam 2 over the weekend.
Yeah, right.
And they said that it was cute. They had went and watched the first one. And they asked if I wanted to go, but I hadn't seen the first one.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, well, no.
Well, there is a new DC movie that's coming out, and the trailer dropped for it yesterday. And I bet you haven't seen this trailer.
I've seen a piece of it this morning on the news. I was watching. I was like, "What is that?" And it said the name of it, and I was like, "Oh!" But I didn't see all of it. I just saw one little scene, and then I went over to the Discord server, and I was like, "Oh, you
I had
posted the same thing." Yeah,
I posted it with a comment. So, the DC movies, part of their new reboot initiative is not to, have another Batman movie out the gate or a Superman movie. They're going to do a Blue Beetle movie, which I'm not even sure. Have you ever even read any Blue Beetle comics? No. Okay. So way back in the day, I just can't play this trailer for you. I just can't do it. Not in good conscience, because I know it's terrible. If you guys ever want to go watch it, you can go watch it. Normally I would play a trailer, but this is so bad that I just can't do it to Deacon. He's already having such a good movie. It's such a good morning. I just thought maybe it would be fun, but I kind of just feel like it would be bad. It would be it's so awful.
What, to watch the video? To watch the
I was gonna, but I think maybe I'd feel too bad about it. So I think maybe I won't.
Has it got Tom Cruise in it?
No. Okay. If it had Tom Cruise, I couldn't help myself. I would have to. And I encourage you all to go watch this Blue Beetle movie trailer. I'm sure it's going to be the next big thing. I'm not going to play it. And I guess the last thing is that Indiana Jones 5 is going to premiere in the French Riviera at Cannes, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We're going to watch an 80-year-old man have adventures. Dial of Destiny.
Okay.
Dial of Destiny. We saw a piece of a trailer of it last year.
I wonder what that has to do with. I've always liked the Indiana Jones movies.
I mean,
Ashley and I have been
Indiana
watching
Jones.
this TV show on Apple called Shrinking, and it's got Jason Segel and Harrison Ford.
I've seen a still photo of that.
Yeah, and they're shrinks, and it's really good. Harrison Ford plays a curmudgeonly old man, and it's he does a really good job. I like Harrison Ford.
Isn't he like pretty curmudgeonly though? Like how much of a stretch is that?
No, it's not
Anytime
really that much.
I've ever seen him in an interview, he's been like people will ask him about Han Solo, and he gets on an interview, and somebody's like, something Han Solo, and he just like,
yeah, he don't give a shit.
I don't care. I don't care.
I aspire to be that way.
This character that means so much to generations of people, and he's just like,
can you imagine?
Paycheck, don't give a shit.
Can you imagine though? That's what everybody calls you for your entire life. That's what everywhere you go, somebody's screaming off Han Solo. What if they did that to you all? It would drive me nuts too. I get into my freaking late 70s. I'd be pissed off all the time too. I'm pissed off all the time now.
I think I saw a tweet yesterday about Han Solo, and I never appreciated Han Solo enough. Never really. Okay. Think back to that first movie, the Star Wars movie. So Han Solo lands that ship, the Millennium Falcon in the Star Destroyer, right? Inside of that ship is Darth Vader's son, Darth Vader's daughter, Darth Vader's droid robot that he built, Darth Vader, the R2 unit that belonged to Darth Vader's master, Obi-Wan, and let's see who else. It's something to do with Chewbacca. Chewbacca had something to do with Darth Vader, and all of these people were on the Death Star, and Darth Vader's there. He's going to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi. He doesn't recognize any of these things. He doesn't recognize his own robot or whatever. And then later, Han Solo takes that ship, escapes, and then sneaks up on the the triangle shaped ships and shoots at him too. So Han Solo was.
I see what you're getting at, and I've read something like this before, and there was a very feasible explanation for why Darth Vader did not react to those things that he saw. And I can't remember what. I don't ask me what it was, but I remember I've seen all of these little questions and whatnot. I have seen articles and stuff on these. I was a huge Star Wars nerd for a long time, dude. All this stupid shit like this I have gone through. I've read something on that very exact same thing. Why Darth Vader didn't recognize all this shit, and it was someone's opinion theory, but it was the most feasible one that I had read, and I was like, that one makes sense.
I mean,
in my world, that's what happened.
Maybe he had brain damage from having his body all mangled up. Anyway, I just thought Han Solo was kind of a badass for being able to sneak around Darth Vader with like his entire family and his robots and his all of his stuff. It's like somebody took your entire family and put them in a car and then was driving around and you couldn't find them, and they're like hiding at your house.
Han Solo was not a badass though. He was a badass, but he wasn't a badass. Han Solo was a smuggler. And if I was going to make a character like Han Solo for my Dungeons and Dragons game, I wouldn't give him strength and dexterity and all that crap. I would give him luck. He has a shitload of luck, and he has a shitload of charisma. He is a bard. Man, he can swindle you. He can talk a woman out of her panties, so to speak.
Right.
He's a bard. So, and he's very good at what he does. He's a smuggler. He's a rogue. You could call him a rogue as well. But he wasn't a super badass. A lot of that shit, remember in the Return of the Jedi when they're on Endor, he's running. he runs right into a battalion of fucking stormtroopers.
Yeah, like, it runs around the corner like, whoops.
See, he's just kind of he has luck plays a lot with Han Solo. He's not brave. He's not super brave. He has his brave moments, but he's not super brave. I didn't think he was. That's not what I got from Han Solo. Chewie was the brave one.
Yeah.
But I'm going to open up a can of worms, and I'm going to be called a fucking Han Solo Nazi now, so whatever. All right, so this is where I remind JJ in the show to get his joke, and I remind you to join our Discord server, which is just a big bulletin board that we post little bulletins with each other. It's like a forum. Yeah. So just come on by, and it's not like evil, and you're not going to get any fucking hackers or any of the bullshit that they say about Discord. So come on by and talk to us. And JJ's got all kinds of security measures. So come on by and talk to us and give us your dad jokes. The dad jokes this week on the show, JJ, they come from my son. He's given me some jokes that he's been reading to me and giving to me. This one: what type of apple grows on a tree?
Type of apple? I'm not sure. A red apple?
All of them.
That's pretty good.
All of them. I was like, oh, damn, you got me. That was a good one. Okay. So
all right. Well, good on him for writing these jokes.
He didn't write it.
I'm giving him credit.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving him credit. And I'm going to remind you not to write with a broken pencil. Don't try to write with a broken pencil. It's pointless. Okay. That's it for this morning.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It'll be better.
It's all good. I know who ruined the day for you. It was Cindy. It was her. All right. That's it. We're going to go. Hey, maybe this is... Well, no, I'm not going to do that either. Man, I'm just fumbling. The hell with this show.
Let's switch channels. This show is dull.
You bet.